Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am so glad you're here. Today's date is Sunday, January 5th, 2025. Well, I've been watching with interest a storm front that is heading through the central region of the United States and is predicted to be hitting Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, tonight and dumping a lot of snow, 5 to 10 inches, which would be a decent amount even in snow country, on Washington, D.C. Now, what's interesting is tomorrow is the date on January 6th that the certification vote for the election of our president-elect is supposed to be held. And there is some speculation in alt media that this storm front was either created or augmented artificially so that it would wreak havoc on that process. Now, I did a little looking, and I'm not too concerned about it personally. So we're going to look at the storm, but here's why I'm not worried about it. I'm going to take you to a share screen. I've got several posts that are up on the X platform, and one of them was where I asked a question, basically, how many elected officials need to be present to certify the election? And there's no set number. Spoiler alert. Let's go to that share screen real quick, and I will have a link to my X account if you want to look at those posts, but you can find this information easily yourself. Just depends on, if you do your own searching, which I encourage always, always, especially as a retired teacher, that you learn how to do it yourself. But let's go to those 3 items I want to share with you, and then we'll get into the tarot element of this video, okay? 1 second. Well, first of all, I posted this, just a reminder, to certify an election, no specific number of senators is required to vote affirmatively. Okay, the process involves a joint session of Congress and the House. So the House and Senate meet and count the votes. And there was actually no issue in this previous election cycle. Donald Trump won the popular vote. He won the electoral vote. It's kind of a done deal, even if you're not awake to some of the other items going on in our world. Now, here was interesting. Twitter and X members had a lot of fun with this AccuWeather storm front picture. They called it Blizzildo. And if you know what that's a reference to, great. But it does show the path of this storm going through the central regions of the United States and culminating here with white stuff in the Washington, D.C. area. Okay, now there was a reposting because I don't believe Auntie Colette is on the X platform. If she is, I would have posted this directly, but she has some comments about the snow threatens the Washington before the election certification, and just there she is. But she's I think primarily on Instagram. I really like the content she puts out, and the view she has of the world, and her values seem to be really good. So there's her comments on that. Thought I'd share that. So that made me curious. So I started here, and I thought, hey, maybe we should talk about the storm. I'll post something about the storm. And then I thought, hey, she was saying that she wasn't sure what kind of effect that might have on the certification process. So I did a little searching to see if it would impact the certification process. In a nutshell, like I said, it's not really going to affect it, especially since Donald Trump endorsed House Speaker Mike Johnson as Speaker of the House. So he's got that seal of approval. And that kind of comes with, I think, some expected loyalty and ethics in operation. We'll see how that plays out, though, over time. But I just thought that was really interesting. So I want to ask the universe, is there, I'm not even going to ask. I'd love to put a yes or no element on this, but I don't want to limit the read because I think it's almost redundant to ask if the storm was manipulated in some way. So much of our weather these days is manipulated. And I'd just like to ask what the universe wants us to know about this, especially potential impacts on the certification process in Washington, D.C. Oh, here's a way we can do a yes or no element. Will the storm impact the certification process for the election tomorrow, plus additional insights and information about this storm that's coming through the central part of our country here in the United States and dumping a lot of white stuff in the process. So let's find out what the universe wants us to know. I'm going to switch the camera and let you watch me work with the cards. We'll find out together. Again, the yes or no element, we're going to ask if this is going to have some kind of a negative impact on that certification process, plus additional insights and information. So we won't even worry about whether the storm was augmented or, teased or helped into being. We're going to just ask about the certification process, which again, it may impact it in some way, but I don't think it's going to stop it because, nothing can stop what is coming. So the blizzard that has been nicknamed Blizzildo in social media is heading towards Washington, D.C. and creating a snowstorm swath across the middle region of the United States. We would like to know if this storm system is going to be a significant factor in the certification process and type, if so, obviously, plus additional insights and information. Let's see what the universe wants us to know. We have a 10 of Swords, Judgment. So we've got, it looks like it's already going to have an impact because the Judgment card in political reads does mean result. It often means that in personal reads too. Let's see though, what's going on? We got the Four of Cups, Queen of Cups, King of Wands, the World, and the Three of Pentacles. We'll get a few other cards too before we're all done. Let's look at these though. Okay, so first of all, the 10 of Swords is an ending type of card, and one thing has to end for something else to start, and we know that the sham administration of 46 has to be done away with before 47 can come out. But it does look like there is an attempt that's going to be in play to have it affect the certification process. I'm seeing though that it's not going to, like I said, nothing can stop what is coming. So there was a hope. They're pulling out all the stops, guys, all the stops. And they haven't got a lot of stops to pull out anymore. Thank goodness. Okay, we got the Four Cups here for the recent past. And this means that there's been kind of a period of quiet as these days approach. And while there has been an effort, if you notice, I'm starting to do a series of current events prefaced with in the news because I thought it might be good for us to keep track of the distractions of the week, as they say. And the one right now seems to be the storm in the certification process. But so there's been some shenanigans and they're weather related in some cases. And I feel that this cloud is holding this up. So yeah, we were asking about the weather with this read. Now, we're told to, again, don't react, respond, and use your intelligence. Since there's no specific number of representatives that have to be there for the certification process, just, sit back and relax and don't worry about it. And that's what I'm going to do. I am not giving my energy to anything that's, these fear-mongering efforts and worry-mongering and anxiety-mongering. And I'm sorry, but both sides of the aisle are guilty of that. And I don't want to play anymore. I don't know about you. I'll follow the events, but I'm not going to give them a lot of my energy. And I would encourage everybody listening to get that to that same place. So you don't completely burn out. You can just go, okay, well, do your little thing and I'll watch, but I'm not going to give you any energy or encouragement except to get her done and let's get the show on the road because we got a world to fix. Okay, let's look at the near future. Speaking of our world to fix, King of Wands shows up as our information for the near future, and he is an excellent wisdom, vision, leadership. We can anticipate some good leadership coming up here in the United States, and this read is primarily focused on the United States. So yeah, we've got leadership coming in that does have some good vision and honor. whether, they get credit for it or not, it's there. It's part of what is going to be given to us. And the world card is always a victory card. Wreaths are victory, and this is the hugest one in the deck. And so, yeah, even though there's some shenanigans and it's the death throes again for 46, and they're hoping to have a different result, it's not going to ultimately change what's happening. So the world card is here, and then we've got the three of Pentacles for a further insight card, just saying, there's a really firm foundation for what's happening here. So yeah, the weather was kind of twisted and created. They were hoping to cause some issues, but again, they're just pulling out the stops without a lot of stops left to pull. Let's get a few more cards and see if there's some more information going on here. We have the Four of Pentacles. We have a beautiful card with the Ten of Cups. Always a happy card to see. King of Pentacles. And then the Three of Cups. Okay, so these further cards are telling us here, first of all, we got reason to celebrate. Okay, absolutely. And we are going to be beneficiaries of changes that all ages and stages of human life can benefit from. The actual shenanigans, even though they're pulling out the stops on the deep states end of things, the White Hats really haven't had to expend a lot of energy. I think the maneuvering with them happened more with the endorsement of Mike Johnson. And then it's like, okay, let's let this play out and let people make those runs on the grocery stores so there's no bread on the shelves or milk. And then further down the line, these again are near future. We'll just have some reason to celebrate. That's what this means, is to, don't go to excess, but celebrate. There's times when this can have this card here with the Three of Cups can also indicate something else. But with the nature of this read, I'm just saying that it's saying, guys, the changes that are happening and what's going to happen is going to be so beautiful. Everybody's going to be able to celebrate, but that doesn't mean the work is done or that the attempts to slow down beautiful change and progress aren't going to still continue to some extent. So don't think it's all done. But like we said, and I've said a couple times just in this video alone, nothing can stop what is coming, and we know what's coming is really, really good for Earth, for the planet, for human life, and for America specifically, because that's what this read is about. King of Pentacles showing up here, another really good king card to show up because he's a faithful provider, just letting us know, our needs and have been recognized, and the change that is coming. It's supported. It is it can't be stopped. It's just beautiful. Okay, so hopefully everybody's got their winter gear ready, and they've got a little bit of a couple days worth of food till the snow gets dealt with to some extent, and looks like things are going to go okay. So let's recap. There's a big storm front heading towards Washington, D.C., just in time for tomorrow's certification process for the election. And it was interesting to note that many of our representatives, even knowing this storm front was coming, chose to go home over the weekend. I think it may be my personal thought, this is Laura's view thing, that it may be a way of some of the compromised elected officials to avoid participating one way or the other in the process, to be snowbound away from the activity. So that's my thought. And we asked the universe about this. Would this storm front impact the certification process? It certainly was their hope, because the 46 administration is this is the death knell for them, although they've had enough knells already that you'd think they'd get the clue. And they were hoping that the results would be changed in some way, delayed, postponed, what have you. Even if there is a temporary postponement, it's not going to change the course of events, and I don't see anything. While the certification, the storm could impact it a little bit, it's not going to impact it to the point where it doesn't happen and things don't proceed apace. The storm front recent past, yeah, I wasn't even asking about had it been manipulated, but we got that information from the cards as we went. I thought that was kind of amusing. The Queen of Cups. Right now, today, this is our current card, and it's just saying, hey guys, use your smarts, okay? Don't buy into the fear porn. Don't contribute anxiety or worry to this. Just, it's going to play out. It's going to play out, and just live your best life, and don't give it too much energy. The recent, the near future cards were really, really nice to see. First of all, this is a card, the King of Wands was our near future one. And this card is one of leadership and vision and honor. So it just looks like our leadership is going to become more honorable. It is going to be more people focused. And so that tells us the change is going to happen, because right now it's not people focused unless you live in a country that can launder some money back into you. That's going to change, and it's really going to change. It was bolstered with this. Our strongest insight card is the world, that this whole process is going to ultimately improve our world, not just my country, but the world. It's part of a process that's happening for the human race. The uh, secondary in the second insight card was this one. And again, this one hints at the fact that we have the change that is coming is based on a firm foundation, number one, and that there are players involved that are not going to be deterred, bought off, or ended because we've got some really benevolent help in this whole process that's going along. The white hats decided to not spend too much energy on the storm itself. I think where they did their preparation for tomorrow's event and theater was with the Mike Johnson endorsement by Trump. And the changes that are coming are ones that all ages and stages of human life are going to be able to benefit from and enjoy. So nothing worrisome about that. A reminder to keep that celebration, first of all, moderate, because moderation is always good. And second of all, it would be ridiculous to think that there is going to be an ending of attempts to slow the pace of progress and change, and the rollout of things that are good for humanity, because for too long there were energies that weren't good for humanity that were calling the shots. So that cleanup is still in process to some extent, and they'll try their things. So we can celebrate and know nothing can stop what is coming, but to sit back on our laurels and think it's all done would be ridiculously silly, and let's not be silly. So that's it for this video. I do have an afterword that has nothing to do with politics. If you'd like to stay for that, you're welcome to. If you were just here for the current events element of this read, which was again about the Blizzildo of 2025 that is heading towards Washington, D.C. as I make this video, then I thank you for watching very much, and for being willing to consider that sometimes we can get some perspectives and insights from some what seem to be non-traditional sourcing. And I believe if it's done with the right spirit and prayerfully and positively, it's very, very, very valuable. Or I wouldn't do the channel if I didn't believe that. So I thank you. And if you're willing to receive it, I send you love, light, and I wish for you everything bright. Bye. Now for the afterword. Okay. I don't generally add to my gemstone collection because it's plentiful. After decades and having a brother that was a geologist, it's just not necessary. But I recently bought one little thing from an online site that starts with a capital E. And I wanted to tell you about it because I paid full price. I didn't get any kind of special consideration. But I did send a note and just said that I would shout them out a little bit on my small platform if I was pleased with the product, and I indeed am. So this is a lace agate moon. It's got some druzy enclosures. The price was reasonable. And the seller has a business called Pyrite at Midnight on that site. And I just thought I would shout them out. They're based in Oregon, so it's a U.S. Concern. And the shipping was prompt, and the product was decent, and the price was decent. And I just thought I'd share that with you. I'm not getting anything for the shout out. I just wanted to do it because I was pleased with a small business, and small businesses need all the props they can get as far as I'm concerned. So you won't see me doing one for Dillard's or Macy's or anything like that. But occasionally when I'm impressed with a small business, I'm going to let you know. And it won't be one that has given me anything for it. Just so you know, like I said, I paid full price for this. There's been no promise of anything to come as a result of this. So just a happy customer shout out for Pyrite at Midnight. So that's it for this video. I thank you so much for your time and attention and for staying with me to the end. And until next time, which should be pretty quickly, now that the Schumann resonance is back to normal. Whoo, boy, I was having a little trouble during all that energy. I don't know about you guys, but I finally got a good night's sleep last night. Woke up today and had an idea for a video, and here we go. So hopefully we can continue with this process. And again, for this year, I was looking back at some of my older videos, and a great many of them, there's a few that are about personal growth and ascension, and of course the monthly meditation, but a lot of them have a focus on current events. And I thought I'm going to start doing a thumbnail that says in the news. Again, I thought it might be interesting for 2025. At the end of the year, we're going to track back and see what was in the news, what were our distractions of the week and things like that. And I thought that might be fun to do. So that's why I'm starting to do it this way for this year with anything that involves current events. So until next time, I send you, if you're willing to receive it, and why wouldn't you be? I send you love, light, and I wish you everything bright. Bye.